we're Rob and Betsy Bradshaw. I'm a translation advisor for the Doromu Koki people of Central Province outside of Port Moresby, and Betsy's a librarian at the primary school. I'd been working in another language group for about 12 years, and we weren't able to continue with that, and then I was approached by someone from the Doromu Koki language group that was working on our center, and he said, "Oh, could you come and help my group?" There's about 2,000 people, and about half of them live in Port Moresby. It's about 2 to 5 hour drive to the cutoff at the end of the road where they go into the village, but then about 3 hour hike, steep mountainous area to get into the village. And because it's, remote, that's why a lot of them are living in town.
We didn't know if there would be an actual dedication ceremony until about 2 weeks before it happened, and so that was pretty challenging. Just about a month before the dedication, I was reading in my quiet time in 2 Chronicles 29, and it was as if God was speaking to me and saying, "Betsy, this is a promise I have for you." And it was about a dedication, and that the dedication had happened, and all the people gave thanks, and that it all happened very quickly. I knew He was saying, yes, this is going to happen, even though at that time we had no idea if there would be any kind of a dedication.
I went down to Port Moresby a few weeks before to see what was going to happen, because at that point we still didn't know, and they had a meeting and then they worked it all out. They raised all the money for everything they did, and they even said, people would give so much money and then part of it would go for them to get a New Testament. They were writing down people's names, and they said they were going to come back later and say, "Show me your New Testament. I want to see if you're really reading it."
Well, the dedication day was a beautiful morning. There were dancers dressed in traditional clothing, and they welcomed us with drums and beautiful grass skirts and headdresses. They had a mass, because it's a mostly Catholic group, and throughout the mass, different parts of the mass, they did more traditional dancing, which was beautiful.
Most of the service was in English, but it was really neat to hear some of the songs in the language during the mass. And then when they had these prayer times, they had them in 4 different languages, so in the language and also in 2 of the trade languages in English. One translator would like to continue and do the Old Testament. And
when he went to read during the ceremony, he was going to read in Doromu Koki, and as he started to read, he just teared up. He couldn't read. He was so touched by having God's word in his language.
Also with the priest, when he was doing the Mass, he said, this book is already holy. We're not blessing it, it's already blessed, but we're just dedicating it.
After the Mass, then the dancers led us in a procession. Then we walked up to a gymnasium, and then speeches were given there. Rob gave one. He gave the only one in the language, and challenged the people to read their Bible every day. We showed the Jesus film in Doromu Koki, and as we showed that, we sold the New Testaments in both the written and the audio form.
Our hope for them is that they will read God's Word and grow in their relationship with Him and find freedom from bondage to spiritual darkness. And if they want to continue on, that door will open, that they can continue on in the translation.